Shazazz Creations, your one-stop shop when it comes to customization. Totes, tees, tumblers, hats, and more. Looking for a customized gift idea for a graduation, birthday party, baby shower, or just a unique creation of your own? Check out Shazazz Creations as seen here on Whitney D TV. Female, Black owned. Use my promo in the description box down below and let her know Whitney D of Whitney D TV sent you. Thank you. Bye. Welcome to Embrace Pangea. These products are all created to bring you back to balance through nature's gifts. They have a wide range of products that deal with various aspects of daily life, such as deodorants, juices, clothing, vagina detoxes, and body scrubs. Whichever product that you decide to embrace, you can rest assured that it was created with love for the betterment of self. Embrace your Pangea. Visit the link in the description box below and let them know that Whitney D of Whitney D TV sent you. Bye. So check out the site embracepangea.com and embrace your Pangea. You know what I'm saying?
Come on in, people. It's time for the plug. So y'all know I got a word. If you don't know, you're gonna find out in a few minutes. My name is Britannia, and I am the plug. I'm the plug. I am the plug. My name is Britannia, and I am the plug. I am the plug.
My name is Whitney Davis. I'm 33, born and raised in Dallas, Texas. Pleasant Grove, Dallas, Texas. So, it kind of makes me think about the whole R.KELLY situation. And so people that know me, I know that I'm a YouTuber, and I talk strongly about the situation, and some people would label me as to be a hater of R. Kelly, but it's like, no, I get him. I get how being a part or exposed to the traumatic, sexual abuse that you begin to be, you then in turn become the abuser. The abuse becomes the abuser. And you are exposed to something. Sometimes, cognitively, you're thinking that it's okay. It's not right, I don't think, but it's okay, clearly, because it's happening to me, and then it was by somebody who supposedly loved me. And so it just becomes like, repetitive. It becomes like something that you just continuously do, and then it becomes a behavior, then it becomes somewhat accepted, because all these years it was accepted, his behavior, and for me too, it was just kind of like, not necessarily that it was accepted, it was tolerated. She just fast, she just bad, she just grown, and not knowing that deep inside, no, she's hurt. Oh no, she done been through something. Oh no, she's acting out. And that's the stigma that I'm trying to break with this whole experience now, that no, what you're seeing is a surface level issue, but it's something deeper that we need to expose. These behaviors that you're seeing, it's not just these words that we like to put on people, fast, hot, grown, and all these things. You're seeing a spiritual warfare going on right before you, and it's a reason behind it. These people went through something. Let's talk about it. People, when you think about abuse or sexually abusing, you think it's just kids, but adults get sexually abused all the day. And what I say is, by me, all these chain relationships that I kept getting in and out of, or just abusing men, just for sexual tendencies, because that's really what it was at this point. I was just like, I want you, just want what you can offer me, and then when I get it, it's still not enough, because it's something that was a void that got stripped from me, that I'm seeking to fill, but I can't find it in men. I can't find it in just blatantly putting their penises or what have you. I need to find that void in Christ, and I absolutely did, but that's what you see all these adults doing is steady trying to seek for something in people that people can offer. And so, I abused other children, and I abused people, adults, if you will, by getting into these relationships, not giving them closure, and just kind of abusing, them as an individual, and yeah, that's not right, but no one wants to talk about that. What up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. If you're new, don't be. Go ahead and click that subscribe button to be a part of the Witness Gang, to join the Witness Nation. Now let's get into this, shall we? Hello, you guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new, don't be.
I'm Whitney.
What up, everybody? Happy Sunday. I pray you guys had a fantastic Sunday. Those that go to church along with me, praise Jesus, okay? And I pray you guys had a wonderfully blessed day fellowshipping with other believers today, okay, in the midst of everything that we got going on. Y'all appreciate that time.
Like seriously, it's gonna come a time to where we're not gonna be able to do that. Okay. So I take delight being in the house of the Lord. Okay. But those that are still believers and you guys use fellowship at home, praise Jesus to you too. Okay. But not for nothing, you guys. Today has just been one of those days. It's crazy. If you guys allow me the opportunity before we get into everything, just to give God the praise and glory. Okay. So those that watch the channel are familiar with me sharing a while back, some months back, my daughter, Demi, started having seizures. The first time we didn't know what the hell. I was out of my mind. Okay. I was bonkers, right? And so then the second time, eerily to say, God, and I believe it was him, baby, or the Holy Spirit, but they all one, was showing me some elements and some things that I needed to pay attention to this second time she went into a seizure, right? And just to give you some context, she had her very first seizure when she was like 1, and it was literally her laying on top of me, and she was already having like fevers and she was like sick, and I was nursing her, and she looks up and she goes into a seizure, y'all, right on my chest, and it threw me crazy. Okay. And so then, earlier in the year, she had another one. I'm like, oh God, what I'm saying? We thought it was going to be chronic. And so in that moment, the doctors was like adamant about trying to get her on meds. And for some reason, again, I would give the praise and honor to God that I said no. That's why I tell you, I don't talk about this. It's something that I live, right? I said, no, I'm not giving her no medicines. You know what I'm saying? We don't even know, what all the situations was, right? And God, I just trusted in him and what he said. So this last time she had a seizure, it was happening. And I was talking to her while she was going through it. And I was just asking her, and she just kept getting up, telling me how hot she was. And I was like, okay. So God had me watch the positioning of our bed. The vent is right over our bed, and we co-sleep. She was sleeping in the bedroom with us, and the vent was right over her head. And it was during winter, so the heat was just busting her. Then she had this big black comforter that she was up. So God was showing me all these things, y'all. And so luckily, I didn't get her on some drugs that probably would have, caused her to go into these chronic seizures. But I say all that to say that this morning while at church, the devil tried it again, y'all. While in church during offering, we was just about to leave, and she was up under a blanket because it's cold at church, and her mouth started doing the thing. And because I recognized it, I was like, oh heck no. My sister was like, pray with me, because I was about to go in. Oh, I don't deal with stuff like that. And I start praying and speaking in tongues over my daughter. And y'all, sure as I say that, and I turned to her and I said, you better say Jesus. Okay. Now y'all worship a lot of gods out there. I worship my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ on period. Okay. I'm always gonna give him praise and glory until I can't no more. And not for nothing, she came out of that attempt seizure. So I don't play with them. Okay. So let's get into this. I just wanted to share that with you guys and let you guys know that it's okay to believe in him, especially if you know him to be who he said he was in your life. You stand on that, and don't let nobody pressure you into doing and believing anything. Okay. So just wanted to share that testimony with you guys, especially with the man Sunday. Okay. So keep my baby in your prayers. She's fine. We just got to watch her getting overheated and things of that nature. But not for nothing, let's get into what you guys are here for. But before we begin, y'all know I love y'all sincerely, and I want to be able to tell y'all that show y'all how much I love y'all by shouting you guys out. It is Sunday. Know that I might have to take some pauses because I'm a mother first. My husband is about to get out, and so it's just gonna be me and the kiddos. So I may have to pause from time to time, but I'm gonna try to do my due diligence to be professional and give you guys what you guys are here for. Okay. So Jennifer, hey girl, how are you? Thank you. Yes, ma'am. 650. I'm aware. Hey, Missy. Hey, Vera. Hey, Juanita. You got beat today, Juanita. Hey, Indigo. Hey, Granny. Hey, Larry's Minion. Hey, Bev. Hi, Shanae. You guys, I placed in the chat, I pinned it if you guys want to become a member. If you join the channel, you have an automatic mod position, okay? All right. Hey, Purple. Hey, Blackberry. Hi, Kayla. How are you? Hi, Take R. Kelly. Give us back Tupac. What's up, you guys? Hey, 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 Karen A. Hi, Tina Weena. Hello, hello. Hey, Yada. Let's see here. Admis, that's my brother. Hey, you guys, me and Admis have been pinging back and forth with these transcripts. And so if you ever want to see the continuation whenever I stop, be it now in the near future, know that his channel is where you need to go. I'm going to eventually make him like a little commercial because, y'all, this case is going to be going on for months. And we're going to be reading these transcripts until we can't read these transcripts anymore. Okay. So stay tuned for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the other channels give you, but we're just going to give you what black and white is. Okay. I put a little mix on it with the voices and stuff like that, but I'm reading exactly what's on the paper. Okay. So it's going to be between me and my boy Admin. So please jot his channel down. Go ahead over right now while I'm not reading and go subscribe to his channel and get ready to be able to hear, the continuations of wherever I stop from him. Okay. Hey, wifey. Hey, Mom Life Love. Hey, Linda. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Samira. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Tie-Dye. Hi, Honey Bunches. Okay. Hi, Travis. How are you? All right. You guys make sure you guys share this, okay? Making sure I say hello to everybody in here. All right. We down to the list. All right. Sorry, I had to check on my spaghetti sauce. Okay. Hey, is it Celeste? Okay. All right. Hey, you guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. Now, before we get into the rest of everything, I have to do this. You guys, please place your city in the chat. I want to give you guys a shout out, okay? Especially when I go back to the comments. Know initially that I am going to be balancing, looking at your comments, but for the most part, I'm going to read. We'll be trying to push out 30 pages a day for you guys of these transcripts, and know that you can always find what we're reading on the thumbnail. I mean, not on the thumbnail, on the title. Okay, this ain't no clickbait. What you see is what you get, especially over here. I ain't got time for clickbaiting, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Okay, so I'm always going to have down also down at the bottom. Hold on. I'm also going to have down at the bottom, as you see down rolling, what we're reading as well. So you guys will be able to see that. I'm going to update the number of pages after the fact because I may read over. So I don't want to put something down that I'm not honoring. Okay. So I just want to let that be clear. Okay. And let's go ahead and get into these rules. Okay. Hold on one second. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. Okay, got my little green juice. I'm drinking my green juice. What y'all drinking on? I got my green juice going on. Okay, gotta detox and reflect. All right. So not for nothing, you guys, keep it cute or get the boot. Okay, here over at Whitney D TV, I am not the channel that I'm just like, you can't disagree. Okay, I am biased. Let's put that out there. I'm very biased towards these victims. I don't care what you come at me about. You better have some facts and proof behind it. Otherwise, I don't care what you got to say. I am a supporter of the alleged victims. Okay. So yeah, I'm very biased. Okay. Biased. But bias. Okay, yeah, that is me. All right. Instead of Whitney D, it's Whitney B. Whitney bias. I sure am. Okay, very biased. However, I'm very fair too. Okay. So I don't put any information out there that I don't know for sure. And if I do, I can come back and retract. Okay, but not for nothing. Okay, what I mean by keep it cute or get the boot, meaning just respect my platform. Okay, don't come over here spamming my chat and my comments with free R. Kelly. I guarantee you he is not on my channel. He cannot see it. And furthermore, I think he's more so focused on this trial. Okay, so keep your cute free R. Kelly hashtags to thyself. Okay, because that's all that's important too. Okay, it doesn't give you any kind of money in your pocket or any kind of anything by putting it over here. All right. So go to those channels that embrace that. All right. Because I don't. All right. But you can have an opposite opinion if you keep it cute. Meaning you ain't got to kiss nobody behind, but just do it respectfully. We are adults to the most part that I'm aware of. And if we are adults, we know how to articulate ourselves. Okay. And no thugs over here in my chat. We're not going to bash anybody, talk about anybody. Let's stay on topic. Okay. We're not going to do no deflection. Okay. They do enough of that over there. We're going to stick to the topics. Okay. So if you guys have some disagreements, some debates going on in the chat, I encourage that. Let's talk. Okay. Now, but if you can't respect that, my minds don't play. All right. They will boot your boot your butt out up out of here. Okay. You have a warning that comes before destruction. Okay. And that's it. It ain't no second, third, fourth chances. You mess up, they gonna put your butt in timeout and then you're gone. Okay. So other than that, just keep it cute and you won't get the boot. Okay. If you disagree, that's fine. Jason Finch, you have been warned, sweetie. We ain't even started the chat. Started the whole dynamics, and you already over here talking about R. Kelly should come on. You ain't even got why. If you're gonna put something out there, tell why. Okay, you've been warned. Okay, all right. Next, you're gonna get timed out, and then next you're out of there. Don't be putting stuff in my chat. That's stupid. That's stupid. Okay, we gotta be logical thinkers here. Okay, and please try to not type so fast and make sure that you're using proper sentence structures as well. Okay. All right. It's going to be a time where you guys are able to call in. All right. The link will be in the chat. Until then, just keep your comments and concerns in the chat. All right. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to join, the link has been pinned into the channel. Know that if you join, that is an automatic mod position. Okay, if you're supporting me that strong, that means that you're entitled to such a position, and I honor that. Okay. All right. And okay, Jason, let me y'all know me, I'm fast. Okay. So Jason, sweetie, you said because R. Kelly needs to see his kids, baby, they don't want to see him. That's for facts. And then furthermore, he ain't seen his kids now. Now all of a sudden he needs to see his kids. Boy, bye. Okay. You've been warned. All right, you've been warned. Anyways, so also this is going to be pinned down, strolling down at the bottom. This is my Cash App. All right, I love you guys sending in your super chats. However, know that 30% goes to YouTube. Okay, and if you want to get it straight to me, send it to my Cash App. All right, and I guarantee you I will receive it and I will use it back into my channel. Okay, not for nothing. Make sure you guys like. It is very important for you guys to like this video. It helps with the algorithm and it pushes it through the algorithm. If you don't like it, that's cool too. Go on and click that dislike, but don't be up in the bushes too long. It's got spikes and thorns and spiders and roaches and ants and all that stuff up in there. So come on about the bushes, okay? All right, we ain't gonna bite you over here, you know what I'm saying? Unless you bite first. Okay. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get this popping. I pray you guys are having a safe and wonderful Sunday, all right? I hope you guys have your drinks. I know it's Sunday. Get you some good old red wine. It's good for your blood. Get you guys some good old snacks, some snack packs, okay? And get ready for the show, okay? All right, you guys. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Oh, and let me put this out there in the ether while we're just here, just shooting the stuff. I'm about to say something else. Rumor has it that Azriel is being impeached. Okay. Until we see a live impeachment trial, stop putting that information out there. Okay, just stop. All right, y'all know that's a process in which that you have to take, right? So yeah. So until you guys actually see some valid information in regards to that, you see a submission of impeachment towards her, then stop putting that stuff out there because y'all sound dumb. Y'all just said about these last transcripts that we read. Oh, her mama had her own stage, pussy popping on a handstand, and she drove her to go meet R.KELLY, and she had a room, and none of that was true. We read the transcripts. So can y'all please stop doing that? Because at the end of the day, the truth will come out. It's just ridiculous, and it's acidine. And furthermore, it's very deflective towards the pea piper. Okay, like stop. It's frivolous. All right, because at the end of the day, it still has nothing to do with any of these alleged victims. I'm just gonna put that out there double time. This has everything solely to do with R. Kelly. Know that. Okay, and no shade, no tea. His lawyers are retarded. Okay, anyways, I'm getting off my soapbox. Just wanted to make a PSA. Come on, let's go on and get into this. All right. I'm going to scooch back. The judge. Is now a good time to take our afternoon break? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our afternoon break. 15 minutes, I think. Please don't talk about the case. I'll see you in 15 minutes. The courtroom deputy. All rise. Jury exits the courtroom. In open court, jury not present, the judge. All right, everybody can sit down. So is the next witness, is this next witness to one you told me about this morning? Miss Melendez. Yes, the judge. Can you just put on the record what it is that is this someone that I have signed in order for previously? Miss Melendez. Your Honor, you haven't signed an order for, but there is an order that's dated October 22nd, 2019, as Ms. Gideus mentioned this morning. With anticipation, the witness will assert his Fifth Amendment privilege, and the government is prepared to offer immunity if that. Oh, did y'all hear that? They offer immunity. Yeah. So let me just make this very clear for you guys. If at any point of time in the likes of Azriel's testimony or any other alleged victim, know that they can get immunity. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, if they were under some kind of distress or whatever, just like the last time I read, you guys heard that. Yeah. See, the employee had coronavirus, and so he wasn't in his right mind. So the information they gathered wasn't true. And so when he stood before the court and he told the truth, that sounds like he should have been impeached too, right? Because his prior statement, let me just read impeachment for those people in the back, okay? Because, I'm a little cross-eyed idiot over here. I'm very delusional. From somebody in my comments said Whitney D stands for delusion. So let me just read, okay? Let me just read what impeachment means, okay? At trial, impeachment is the process of attacking the accuracy of witness testimony. For example, if a witness testimony at trial contradicts their earlier sworn statements, one or both parties might bring up the sworn statements to impeach their testimony. I could have sworn I read that on yesterday. You guys tell me in the chat if I'm right or wrong. He stated that, when he went earlier Yeah, like it says here, there his earlier sworn statement. Yeah, it contradicts what he said before the the pulpit, if not the pulpit, but in court. Right. Ain't that what? Can I just read impeachment again? Okay, it says at trial, impeachment is the process of attacking the accuracy of witness testimony. Oh, it seems like a lot of people are doing that. Oh, okay. So I guess Azrael's not going to be the only one impeached. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm just saying, y'all. I read the definition. Like, no funniness aside. Let me read that one more time. At trial, impeachment is the process of attacking the accuracy of witness testimony. For example, if a witness testimony at trial contradicts their earlier sworn statements, one or both parties might bring up the sworn statement to impeach their testimony. Seems to me if Azrael said something earlier and said something different, she should be impeached. However, it states right here that they were given immunity for breaking amendments. And I would think, I don't know, if they are able to do this, that they can break an impeachment. But what do I know? Let me continue. The judge, all right, Miss Melendez, and it was signed by Judge Moscow. The judge, okay. So what's the procedure then? I haven't done this in a while. If I remember correctly, you bring him in and I ask him whether he intends to assert his Fifth Amendment privilege. Is that right, Ms. Melendez? We can certainly do it that way, Your Honor, or I can ask a question and see if he asserts his Fifth Amendment, the court. But outside of the presence of the jury, Ms. Melendez. Yes, outside the presence of the jury, the judge. I'm sorry to interrupt you. And then the immunity includes immunity except for prejudice. Is that right, Ms. Melendez? That's correct, Your Honor. The judge. Just put on the record what the conditions of the immunity are, Ms. Melendez. It was my intention to read the order, Your Honor. The judge. Great, Ms. Melendez. So I would ask, I think the simplest thing, Your Honor, is when the witness comes in, if you would like to ask the witness if they intend to assert his Fifth Amendment privilege. The judge. Okay, who is the witness? Ms. Melendez. His name is Demetrius Smith. The judge. And assuming he does, is he going to have an attorney here as well? Ms. Melendez. That's correct. The judge. Anything else that you want to put on the record about this, Ms. Melendez? Nothing further from the government. The judge. I simply plan to ask him if he intends to invoke his Fifth Amendment privilege. And then if he says yes, I will tell him that you are going to read the order then. Miss Melendez. That's correct. The judge. And then he will no longer have a privilege to invoke, and I will advise him of that, Ms. Melendez. Thank you, Your Honor. The judge. Anything from the defense on this subject? Mr. Kennedy. No, Your Honor. The judge. All right. So why don't we take our break and then we will handle this in about 10 minutes. Okay. Let me stop right there. So do you see how they had the conversation in presence of the judge as well as the defense, that this man was going to break his Fifth Amendment, break something that he had vowed that he wasn't going to do. And if I'm not mistaken, it's an NDA. You see how both the prosecution and the defense are aware of that. Okay, I just want y'all to put that out there in the ether. The courtroom deputy, all rise. The judge. Everybody can sit down. All right. Shall we bring in the witness? I'm sorry, Miss Cruz Melendez. Can you tell me his name again? Miss Melendez. Demetrius Smith, Your Honor. The judge. Okay. And I take it his lawyer is with him? Miss Melendez. Yes. The judge. Who is his counsel? Miss Melendez. Susan Marcus. The court deputy. Please remain standing. The judge. Miss Marcus, do you want to stand next to the witness? Is that helpful? Miss Marcus, sure. The court deputy, please raise your right hand. Witness sworn. The court deputy, state your name for the court, for the record. The witness, Demetrius Smith. Demetrius Smith, called by the government, having been duly sworn, was examined and testified as follows. The court. Mr. Smith, just have a seat. There is a microphone right there. I am going to ask you a couple of questions. I'm told if you are called to testify, you plan to assert your Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. Is that right? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. They do that? Wait a minute. Wait. Wait a minute. So you can break the Fifth Amendment privilege and self-incriminate yourself? It is. Because everybody was in an uproar about, oh, Azriel did. And see, y'all keep making Azriel the face of everything that's going on. And she's not. Yes, see, it's other witnesses. It's other alleged victims that are testifying, that are saying one thing and doing and saying another now, or that are breaking amendments and stuff like that. Oh, okay. Hey, Sissy Pooh. Hey, Tanya. I'm told if you are called to testify, you plan to assert your Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. Is that correct? The witness. Yes. I don't want to be here, period. The judge. I can't hear what you're saying. The witness. Yes. The judge. Miss Cruz Melendez. Miss Melendez. Your Honor, the government would like to now read into the record an order signed by Judge Moskoff dated October 22nd, 2019. It reads, in re-testimony of Demetrius Smith on motion of Richard P. Dungo, United States Attorney for the Eastern District of New York by Assistant United States Attorney Maria Cruz Melendez, filed this matter on October 22nd, 2019. It appearing to the satisfaction of the court that DeMarcus Smith, the witness, has been called to testify or provide other information before the grand jury, that in the judgment of the United States Attorney, the witness is likely to refuse to testify or provide other information on the basis of his privilege against self-incrimination, that in the judgment of the United States Attorney, the testimony or other information from the witness may be necessary to public interest, and that the after-say motion filed herein has been made with the approval of Jennifer A.H. Hodge, Acting Deputy Assistant of the Attorney General of Criminal Division of the United States, Department of Justice, personate, sorry, you guys, to the authority vested in her by Title 18 United States Code, Section 603B, and Title 28 Code of Federal Regulations, Section 0175A. Now, therefore, it is ordered to Title 18 United States Code, Section 602 and 603 that the witness give testimony or provide other information while he refuses to give or to provide on the basis of his privilege against self-incrimination as to all matters about which he may be questioned before the grand jury and in other further proceedings resulting therefrom or ancillary thereto. It is further ordered that pursuant to Title 18, United States Code, Section 600 and 603, no testimony of other information compelled under this order or any information directly or indirectly derived from such testimony or another information may be used against the witness in any criminal case, except in a prosecution for perjury, giving a false statement, obstruction of justice, or otherwise failing to comply with this order. Do y'all hear that? So let me just highlight that. Okay? Except in a prosecution for perjury. This is what this is all about. So basically all of what I'm reading, they can't do nothing. They can't perjure him with this. And I guarantee you they did this to other people. I guarantee you. This order shall become effective only if, after the execution of this order, the witness refuses to testify or provide other information on the basis of his privilege against self-incrimination. It is dated October 23rd, 2019 in Brooklyn, New York. It is signed by the Honorable Rosalind R. Moscow, United States District Judge, Eastern District of New York. Okay. So the judge says, okay, Mr. Smith, have you discussed this with your attorney? Demetrius, I do have a question for you right now. The judge, speak to your lawyer about it, okay? The witness, she is telling me stuff, but I don't understand. The judge, so I'm going to give you a little more time to consult with your lawyer. But the bottom line here is you had invoked your Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. And I know you know what that means, correct? Demetrius, yes, I was told that was given to me, offered to me, but I didn't want to be here anyway. But the judge, well, you would be in good company. There are lots of people who don't want to testify, but that's really not the question. The question is now that the government has secured an order signed by another district judge in this courthouse that if you testify, you cannot be persecuted for anything that you talk. Okay. I just want this to be clear, okay? Demetrius, all right. The judge. So you don't have, well, you can't take the Fifth anymore because they have an order that you have immunity for prosecution. So you have a good lawyer with here with you, okay? She will explain what that means to you. But the bottom line is that you have to testify about those things that you were concerned that you would yourself face prosecution for. Do you understand that? Demetrius, yeah. I don't feel like I did on the first prosecution for, so why do I have to testify now? The judge, do you want to speak to your lawyer for a minute? Ms. Marcus, may I have a moment? The judge, yes, go ahead. Pause. Ms. Gideon, Your Honor, can I address something? The judge, of course. You can take your mask off. Ms. Gideon, Your Honor, previously admitted government exhibit 241, subject to connection. That was that blue t-shirt that Ms. Pace identified as one that she had used to wipe semen from her face. The government is prepared to call two witnesses next week who will testify that there was, in fact, semen found on the shirt, and the semen matched that of the defendants. Your Honor, previously admitted subject to connection, but I believe it should be admitted period, because the witness identified it as the t-shirt that she used to wipe off the defendant's semen. The defense counsel claimed that they wanted to challenge the chain of custody, but any challenges to chain of custody go to Wade, not to admissibility. The government is planning to call additional witnesses who will establish a chain of custody, but I want to be able to call the DNA witnesses next week, and I'm not sure that those other custody witnesses are going to testify before them, the judge. I don't think you would have any objection to that, do you? It is true, essentially, that the chain of custody issued in this circumstance really would go to Wade, not admissibility, but they are planning to establish it anyway. You can take your mask off too. Mr. Mechanic, Your Honor, I would maintain my objection. I certainly would not object to the witnesses testifying without that custody chain. The judge, okay. Mr. Cannon, okay. The judge, and then, I mean, it sounds like whatever objection you have will be, if the government can do it, will be made moot by the testimony of the chain of custody people, assuming they can. So I think we are in agreement about that, Ms. Giddy. So that exhibit is now in evidence, Mr. Cannon. No, the judge, it is still subject to connection. It's fine. Your DNA people can testify. Ms. Giddy, okay. The court, it's not a thing. Ms. Giddy, okay. Thank you, Judge. Mr. Cannon, Your Honor, while they are talking, can I run out? The judge, yes. Ms. Giddy, I have one other procedural matter. I'm sorry. The judge, maybe co-counsel can handle it. Ms. Giddy, Your Honor, we previously discussed not sitting on the 2-day Rosh Hashanah holiday. Oh, I'm sorry. How you? I don't want to say that wrong. I think I said that right. Okay, y'all know what I mean. I'm sorry. It's a holiday. I don't want to, and I think Your Honor was going to perhaps talk with the jury about whether they wanted to take both days, if there was anyone who celebrated both days. The judge, I don't know that they celebrate both. I know there are that celebrate one day. We will find out. Miss Giddy, okay. Miss Becker, judge, for the record, I'm Jewish as well. I do celebrate Rosh Hashanah. The court or the judge, we are taking the day off. Miss Becker, okay. I just thought that was a discussion we were having. Miss Giddy, I think the question is whether we take off 1 or 2 days. The judge, do you want to take both days off? Miss Becker, I would, Your Honor, because I have to fly home and come back. All right, that's the plan. The judge, that would have been good to know before. When is Rosh Hashanah? Miss Giddy, the 7th and 8th. Labor Day is Monday, the 6th, and then the 7th and 8th are Tuesday and Wednesday. My understanding, and certainly Miss Becker can correct me, is that the first day is the day that is celebrated almost by all, but the second day is for more religious. Okay, look. Okay, I'm thinking. Can I skip past this, y'all? Would y'all be okay? Because this seemed like this kind of frivolous talking. Not even gonna lie to you. I want to get to the gospel stuff. Okay. So I'm gonna jump past, brother, since you're in the chat, take notation that I stopped before they got into the ruckus of everything. I stopped on page 658 and I jumped. Can somebody put that in the ether? Because they frivolously talking right now and ain't nobody trying to hear that. I stopped at 658. Okay. So I went from 650 to 658 and I jumped. Okay. Now I'm finna get to where Mr. Demetrius go ahead and talk. Because they up here talking about holidays and okay, here we go. All right. I started at 661. I jumped back on at 661. I'm gonna take away those few pages and I'm gonna add to it. 661. That's where we're gonna start. Okay. All right. The court or the judge. Okay, thanks. Miss Becker, judge. Judge, wait. Why don't we wait until Mr. Koenig gets back? Pause. The judge. There he is. Now you can go and get the witness. Witness takes the stand. The judge. Okay, Mr. Smith, you can take your mask off. I want to make sure the court reporter can hear what you are saying. Have you had a chance to speak with your lawyer? Demetrius. Yes, I have. The judge. And you understand the consequences of what we talked about earlier? The witness. Yes. The judge. All right. So I think we can get the jury. He is going to be here, and this is just because of our COVID protocol. And if you need at any time during the course of your examination to consult with your lawyer, just let me know, okay? And then we will make the arrangements. Demetrius. Yes, ma'am. How's everybody doing today? The judge. Let's just wait until we start the questioning, okay? It won't be that bad. The courtroom deputy. All right. The jury enters the courtroom. The courtroom deputy. You may be seated. The judge. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to continue. Are you ready to call your next witness? Ms. Cruz Melendez. Yes, Your Honor. The government calls Demetrius Smith, the judge, and here he is. Mr. Smith, I'm just going to give you a couple of directions before the testimony starts. The first thing is our court reporter takes down everything that you say. So it's important first that you speak into the microphone so she can hear you. And second, that you not speak too quickly. And the third part is that you don't speak over whoever is questioning you. It just makes it hard for them to do their job. The next thing is that if there is a question that isn't clear or you want to have repeated, just let me know. And finally, do your best to just answer the question that you are being asked, okay? He answers, yes, ma'am. The judge, great. Go ahead. Direct examination by Miss Cruz Melendez. Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. Did you receive a subpoena to appear here today? Oh, did y'all hear that? Subpoena. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yes, I did. You don't want to be here testifying, do you? No, I'd rather not. Have you also received a grant of immunity for your testimony today? Yes. What do you understand that to mean? That I won't be prosecuted for anything that I say? Rewind. That I won't be prosecuted for anything that I say? That I won't be prosecuted for anything that I say. Now, do you also understand that grant of immunity does not extend to perjury? Yes. Or giving a false statement. Do you understand that? Yes. Or obstruction of justice. Do you understand that? Yes. Or otherwise failing to comply with immunity order issued. Do you understand that? Yes. Mr. Smith, how old are you? 65. Where did you grow up? In Chicago, Illinois. Are you employed? At the present, no. And what did you do before your unemployment status? I worked as a limousine driver and then COVID hit. I worked as a limousine driver and the COVID hit. Since then, I've been unemployed. The judge, just do your best to use the microphone. It's a big room. Yes, ma'am. That's great. Go ahead. Do you have any nicknames? My family calls me Johnny. I'm showing the witness what has been marked for identification purposes as Government Exhibit 6. Do you see Government Exhibit 6 for identification purposes there? Do you see that there? Do you see there on the monitor? Yes, I do. Do you recognize the individual in that photograph? Yes. If the defense has no objection, the government moves to admit Government Exhibit 6 into evidence. Mr. Kenneth, no objection. The judge, all right, that will be in evidence. Government Exhibit 6 received in evidence. He goes on to say, the witness, you can publish it. Are you familiar with an individual named Robert Kelly, also known as R.KELLY? Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, I need to back up for a moment. Who is the individual in this photograph? That's me. I moved too soon. So back to my other question. Are you familiar with an individual named Robert Kelly, also known as R. Kelly? Yes, I am. Have you met Robert Kelly in person? Yes, I have. I'm showing you what is in evidence as Government Exhibit 1. Do you recognize the individual in this photograph? It looks like Robert. When you say Robert, do you mean Robert Kelly? Yes. Do you see Robert Kelly in the courtroom here today? Take your mask off. If you see him, can you please point him out? That's Robert. And indicate an item of clothing he is wearing. He's wearing a gray suit with a brown shirt. The judge, indicating the defendant. Mr. Smith, approximately when did you first meet the defendant? I met Robert Kelly in 84. And how did you meet the defendant? You turn it over, listen. I met him at a talent show at Kenwood Academy. And what's Kenwood Academy? It was a park district function, and Kenwood Academy is a high school. Now, when you met the defendant, were you in the entertainment business? Yes. What did you do in the entertainment business? I was a singer. I had a band. After meeting the defendant, what, if any, relationship did you have with him? When I met Robert, he was performing. He was a youngster. He was singing original songs. And at that time, I was looking for songs. And Robert totally impressed me, and I approached him for it. And from that moment, we began working together. And in what capacity did you start working for the defendant? Well, I just assisted him with anything he needed to further his career. And approximately when did you begin working with him? 1984. Over what total period of time did you work with the defendant? I worked with Robert from 84 to 96. I think is when we ended. 94, we ended it. I went back again, pretty much 96, it all ended. Would it be fair to say that you took some breaks from your employment with the defendant? A couple, yes. Yes. Now, during periods of these breaks that you mentioned, did you maintain contact with the defendant? We ran back into each other as far as me calling him or a regular basis. In the beginning, no. We got separated again. You know, I went to prison at one time. Now, you had mentioned that you had almost immediately began working for the defendant. Uh-huh. What was your title? How would you describe yourself? Well, in the beginning, I would, I would say I just wanted to be somebody that he could look up to, that could help. But as time developed, I was like a personal assistant to him. He sure got a lot of personal assistants. Before we read on, let me give me a drink. I'm sorry. How y'all doing? Y'all enjoying yourself? All 110 of you guys, you need to get some likes in here. Let's pick up those likes. Just the air. Can you turn the air to me, baby? Thank you, baby. Whew. All right, y'all. Y'all doing good? Yes, let's keep the prayers up for everybody that's in New Orleans. I pray that you guys are, God, like, we have to pray, like, seriously, you guys. It's unfortunate. That's a 650. All right. Okay, sorry, y'all. All right, let's go ahead and get back into it. Examination continues. Oh, yes. Thank you, baby. That's perfect. And what were your responsibilities as his personal assistant? Again, just seeing to it that he got things that he needed to further his career. I mean, I just wanted him to be comfortable to write. What, if any, responsibilities that you have with respect to the defendant's schedule? When we signed with the record company, they gave me tours to do. So I would do the scheduling. Yeah, I did pretty much everything. Did you have any responsibilities with respect to travel? I did scheduling. Scheduling included traveling. If he needed something to get something to his family or something, I would do that. Now, were you paid when you were the defendant's personal assistant? Well, in the beginning, there was no pay. And as time went on, I was paid. And how were you paid as time went on? I was paid in check. Prior to being paid in check, did you have what was the agreement in terms of how much you would be paid? In the beginning, me and Robert, we've always discussed 5%. That was with me, him, and a former manager, Chuck Smith. And we discussed 5%. And pretty much, Robert, in the beginning, we would make money in the subways. He'll make his money. He'll give me 5%, which was a little bit. Now, when you were working for the defendant, did you have any opportunity to meet people in the defendant's inner circle? Yes, I did. Who did you meet? I met his buddies. And who were they? They had, Mr. Kennedy, Your Honor, I am going to object to relevance. The court. Overruled. You can answer. Well, I met his buddies. I met his family. I met his brother. I met his, brothers. I met his sisters, his mom, his buddy, Larry, Tori. Do you remember Larry's last name? Larry? I mean, we don't, if I may say, sir, if I may ask, the judge, oh, you want to speak to your counsel? The witness, yes. The judge, okay. The witness consults with the counsel. Yeah, I know Larry Hood. And what other names do you recall of people you met while working with the defendant? Tori Diggs, Jim Pratt's neighborhood friends, you know. Are you familiar with an individual named Bruce Kelly? That's his brother. When you say his, do you mean that's Robert's brother? And are you familiar with an individual named Tyree Jameson? Tyree Jameson? Yes, I know Tyree. And what, if any, job or responsibility did Tyree Jameson have with the defendant? Tyree was hired as objection security for Robert. Overruled. I want to make sure your microphone is on. We're having a little trouble hearing, and you can take your mask off too. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Miss Cruz Melendez. You had mentioned that you originally met the defendant at a talent show. At some point, did the defendant begin singing professionally? Yes. And was the defendant signed to a record label? Yes. And which record label was the defendant signed to? Signed to Jive Records? And approximately when was he signed to Jive Records? About 89, 88, something like that. Now, as part of the defendant working with the record labels, did the defendant release any songs? Yes, he did. And when you were working with the defendant, did the defendant release any albums under Jive Records? Can you repeat that? Did the defendant release any albums under Jive Records? Yes. And, excuse me, y'all. And what was the name of the defendant's first album? Born into the 90s. Generally speaking, who wrote the songs released by the defendant? R.KELLY. And after releasing the Born into the 90s album, did the defendant release any other albums? Yes, he did. Now, at the time the defendant was signed with Jive Records, did he have a manager? Yes, he did. And what was his manager's name? Barry Hankerson. After signing with Jive Records, did the defendant ever perform live? Yes. And did people come to see his performances? Yes, they did. Now, you testified earlier that you first began working as the defendant's personal assistant. And then at some point, you were also assisting with tours. Is that correct? Yes. I worked as a tour manager as well. And approximately when did you become his tour manager? On first tour. And do you recall when that first tour was? The Born into the 90s album. Do you remember an approximate date? Not off the top of my head. Let me see. Born into the 90s, we did shows way before that. We did shows with Heavy D and the Boys. This was before his deal. So signed with Jive. We got Born into the 90s came out. So I would say 1990, you know, in the vicinity of that time frame. In the vicinity, yeah. So as his tour manager, what were your responsibilities? To get him to and from the tour and on stage on time safe. And at the same time, make sure everything was accommodated. You know, his payroll, I took care of the artists. I took care of the artists. I took care of the crew. My responsibility was a lot. Now, you mentioned that you assist with the tour responsibilities. Did the defendant ever perform live outside of Illinois? Yes. And did you travel on tour with the defendant? Yes. What locations do you recall traveling to with the defendant on tour? We had tours over down south. We had tours all over the states. We went overseas. We did a lot of tours. We covered a lot of ground. Are you familiar with an individual named Javante? Yes, I remember Javante. And did Javante ever travel on tour with you and the defendant? One time I remember, yes. And what, if any, role did Javante have with respect to the defendant's tour? She didn't have a role. They were just like little singers. They were singers, and he wanted them to see what it was like on the road and watch the other acts that were out there as well. Okay. Well, look at my chat. I'll watch it. Comment if you can. All right, you guys, my husband's in the chat. So if y'all got any questions, he's going to be responding on behalf of me and just monitoring, as well as my sister, Rutanya. All right. So you testified that you traveled on tour with the defendant outside of Illinois around the country? Yes. Did people come to see the defendant perform when he performed outside of Illinois on tour? Yes. And when the defendant performed live at shows, did any other musicians perform in any of those shows? Yes. Earlier, you also testified that the defendant generally wrote his songs. Did the defendant ever write or produce any songs for other musical artists? Yes, he did. And did the defendant ever collaborate on music projects with any other artists? Yes, he did. Are you familiar with an individual named Aaliyah Holton? Yes, I'm familiar with Aaliyah. Did you ever meet Aaliyah Holton in person? Yes, I did. I'm showing just the witness what's been marked for identification purposes as government's Exhibit 54. Mr. Smith, do you recognize the individual in this photograph? Yes. And who do you recognize it to be? That's Aaliyah. Your Honor, if there's no objection from the defense, the government moves to admit Government Exhibit 54. Mr. Kennett, no objection, Your Honor. The judge, all right, that's in evidence. You can publish it. Government's Exhibit 54 was received in evidence. Exhibit published. Is Aaliyah still living? No, she's not. How did you come to meet Aaliyah? I met Aaliyah through her uncle, Barry Hankerson. And what, if any, relation again did Barry Hankerson have with the defendant? Wow. Barry was Robert's manager. Wow. And do you recall approximately when you first met Aaliyah? Yes. When was that? We went to Detroit to meet Aaliyah and her family. Do you remember approximately what date that was? No, I don't remember. If I showed you, is there something that might refresh your recollection? May I approach, Your Honor? Yes. Fall of 92. That's about right. So this refreshes your recollection. Maybe, yeah. I'm not sure if I was precise, but it's around that time. The judge, did you say the fall of 1992? Yes, ma'am. Okay, go ahead. Could have been around that time. It could have been a little later. The judge, okay. And I think you mentioned that you met the defendant. Hold on, let me see. That you met the defendant. Okay. Oh yeah, that you met the defendant. Excuse me. That you met Aaliyah in Detroit. Who, if anyone else, was there? I think the first time was me and Robert. And okay. And when we're talking about Detroit, we're talking about Detroit, Michigan. Uh-huh. And is that where Aaliyah lived? Yes. And who, if anyone else, did Aaliyah live with in Detroit? I met her. She was with her dad, her mom, and her brother. Do you recall her brother's name? Rashad. Do you recall her parents' name? Michael and Diane. At the time that you and the defendant met Aaliyah in Detroit, did you also meet her brother at that time? Yes. And I'm sorry if you answered this already, but what was her brother's name? Rashad. And approximately how old was her brother at the time that you first met him? If I said how old he was, I will be assuming, So you currently don't recall. I mean, I don't recall his exact, how old he actually was. Is there something that might refresh your recollection? If I said it even before, maybe 15 or 14, something like that. Okay, so you think that's an assumption of his age. No one ever told me his age. But he appeared to you to be about 15 or 16. He appeared to be a younger teenager. Now, was Rashad older or younger than Aaliyah? I think Rashad was older than Aaliyah, Mr. Kennedy. I'm going to object. If he knows, he knows. If he doesn't, then he's speculating. The judge, he can say he thinks. What made you think that? Well, he was a big boy, taller, I never really knew their birthdays or nothing like that. The judge, okay, so you are not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. The judge, all right. I think Rashad was older. Do you recall how old Aaliyah was at that time? I think at that time, Barry told me she was Mr. Canick. Objection to what he was told. Overruled, the judge says. Demetrius goes on to say, Your Honor, can my attorney sit here? The judge, if it makes you more comfortable, let's just do it 2 seats apart, if that's okay. The witness, it's okay, Miss Marcus. It's fine with me. The judge, okay, Miss Melendez. Your Honor, I just want to make sure that the jury can see Mr. Smith. The judge, can everybody see the witness? The judge, collectively. Yes, Miss Marcus. Would you prefer I sit here? The jury, that's fine. Miss Marcus, okay. The court. So what was the last question? I'm sorry. Do you mind reading it back? Thanks. Record read. So you can answer. How old do you think Aaliyah was? Hey, Bobo. I think at the time she was maybe 14, 15. I remember they told me that she had won some kind of a TV show, American Got Talent, something like that. Back in the day, she was about 13, 14. Yeah. Where were you and the defendant when you met Aaliyah? We were at her house with her mom and her dad. And why were you and the defendant in Detroit? Barry wanted he wanted Robert to meet Aaliyah because she had talent. And he wanted to see if Robert thought she had some. And where had the two of you and the defendant, where had you traveled from? Chicago. And did you travel together to go to Detroit? Yes. How did you get there? I think we drove. I mean, I know if we got there, we drove, So from Detroit, Chicago, yeah, we drove. Let me make sure that I'm keeping the tabs. Okay. Can you explain to the jury what happened when you and the defendant first met Aaliyah, Mr. Kennedy? I'm going to object, Your Honor. The judge. Again, I can't hear you. Mr. Kennedy. It's on. The judge. I know, but I guess I'm getting old. Mr. Kennedy. Well, join the club. Your Honor, I'm going to object to form. The judge. Okay, the objection is overruled. Go ahead. Mr. Smith, can you please explain to the jury what happened when you and the defendant first met Aaliyah? When we first met Aaliyah, first of all, her mom and her dad were just special. You know, it was like walking into the Cosby house, you know, Bill Cosby and Felicia Rashad, and that's how the family greeted us. The judge. You have to speak into the microphone. That's how the family greeted us. It was open. It was warm. It was just a good place to be at that time. And Robert and Aaliyah was kind of shy when he asked her to sing. So Robert went to the piano and he'll play something. And that relaxed everybody. And he'll have Aaliyah do something very simple, and it brought her voice out. And we started hearing some angelic stuff out of her. And it was like a special time. So Aaliyah sang. Yes, she did. For you and the defendant? Yes. And what, if anything, did the defendant say about Aaliyah singing after Aaliyah sang for you and the defendant? Thought she had something special. Barry asked him, what do you think? And he thought she had something special. During your trip to Detroit with the defendant, did you and the defendant spend any additional time with members of Aaliyah's family? We went to play basketball with Rashad. We played with her uncle, Joe Mo Hankerson. We played with Tommy Turns, and you know, we went out and had fun, you know. And how long were you and the defendant in Detroit for that trip? Maybe a day or two. Now, you mentioned you testified that Barry Hankerson had wanted the defendant to hear Aaliyah sing. Yes. At some point, did the defendant begin working with Aaliyah on her music? Later. And once he began working with Aaliyah, did the defendant begin working with Aaliyah on her music? What, if anything, did the defendant do with Aaliyah with respect to her music? I mean, he wrote her songs. Did Aaliyah put out any albums? Yes, she did. And who wrote that album? R.KELLY wrote his first album, her first album. And what was the name of her first album? Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Did Aaliyah ever travel to Chicago to work in the studio with the defendant? Yes, she did with her parents. Now, when Aaliyah came to Chicago to record in the studio, which studio did she and the defendant use to record music? As I remember, it was CRC Studios downtown, Ohio Street. And did you and the defendant ever travel back to Detroit to visit Aaliyah? We went back to Detroit several times. We did visit Aaliyah's house, and we had other musicians in Detroit that Robert worked a lot with. And so we had other purposes in Detroit other than Aaliyah. Did Aaliyah and the defendant ever socialize outside of the studio? Mr. Koenig, objection. The judge overruled. Did they socialize outside of the studio? Yes, I mean, we all socialized. We went out and had ice cream, went to the movies. Including Aaliyah and the defendant. Whatever Robert did with Aaliyah was all about music. I mean, if Robert wanted to be alone with Aaliyah in the other room in the studio, it was over vocals and stuff like that. I was just I would just say if Robert took Aaliyah out by herself, I couldn't say she did that. No. Didn't see that. No. But leave her alone in her room while, or if Robert was in the studio doing something and Aaliyah was uncomfortable, he would clear the room. He would clear the studio and he would be there with her. If he wanted to go eat with her, I would take them to eat. If he wanted to spend time, it was all about her music. So, sir, you just testified that at times defendant might clear the room when he was with Aaliyah. Is that correct? Well, I mean the studio, not just clear a room too, like just him and her. It's like if Aaliyah is not bringing out a note, he might say, turn the lights down in there, and he'll be on one side and she'll be on the other side, or he'll go in and talk to her, stuff like that, you know. Sir, is your testimony here today that the defendant did not spend time alone with Aaliyah? No, I'm not saying that. Okay, so did the defendant spend time alone on occasion? Yes. With Aaliyah? Yes. What did the defendant say to you about needing to be alone with Aaliyah, the judge? Mr. Smith, please have pity on our court reporter. She can't hear what you're saying. Speaking to the microphone, do you need to have your recollection refreshed? Yes. Your Honor, may I approach? Yes. Demetrius. Yes. So, what, if anything, did the defendant say to you about needing to spend time alone with Aaliyah to work on her vocals, as it says in there that he would say he needs to spend time with her to work on her vocals? In other words, I'm saying I'm always under him, so go get you something to eat. In a private setting, is that correct? A private setting is a studio, wherever we are. It's a studio, yeah. But alone, correct? Yeah. Mr. Kennedy. Objection, Your Honor. The judge overruled. To your knowledge, we're almost done, you guys. To your knowledge, were there times when the defendant and Aaliyah ended up being alone in the defendant's apartment? Yes, I would think so, yes. And how long might they spend time alone in his apartment? I mean, her mom would come up with her and they'd all sleep, you know, all stay over. And if her mom left out, Robert would be there with her and stuff like that. Sir, my question is, I'm just trying to see where you're trying to drive me with your question, the judge. So here is the deal. You listen to the question that Ms. Cruz Melendez is asking you and then answer the question. The question. Remember that instruction I gave you at the beginning to answer the question that you are being answered? I mean, that you being asked. What is the question that you're asking, Ms. Melendez? I asked how long might they spend at his apartment, the judge. Do you know how long that? The defendant and Aaliyah, when they were alone, how long might they spend at his apartment? The judge, that's the question. Did they spend time alone at Mr. Kelly's apartment? He answers, yes, the judge. And when they did that, how long did that happen? How long were they alone together? He answers, maybe about an hour, maybe sometimes 15 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes. I'll go back and forth sometimes, you know. It's like, I don't know what you're asking me. The judge, okay, again, yes, he answers. The judge, listen to the question. He answers, I listened to the question. The judge. And if you don't understand, he says, I heard the question. I understand the question. The judge. Okay, so remember, I also told you at the beginning, if you don't understand the question, which I understand the question. The judge. You do. Okay. He says, yeah. The judge. So do your best to answer it. All right. He says, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The judge. Thank you so much. Go ahead. I think you mentioned 15 minutes, 10 minutes, but you also said an hour, correct? Maybe an hour, yeah. Did you ever have any conversations with the defendant about his behavior with Aaliyah? Okay, can you ask that again, please? Yes. Did you ever have any conversations? Sir, did you ever have any conversations with the defendant about his behavior with Aaliyah? I've asked Robert at times. I thought that they were, playful. They played a lot. And I thought that at times I was concerned that that it was all playful. Yes. So at times I have asked him, Robert, everything cool with you and Aaliyah, man? And what did you mean by that when you asked the defendant if everything cool there? I mean, I just thought they were playful, just over playful. And sometimes, sir, and I might have asked him every time, Robert, everything, you ain't messing with Aaliyah or nothing like that or something like that, yeah. And he'll say no. He said no, and I believe it. What, if anything, did you see or hear that made you ask the defendant about his behavior with Aaliyah? Being too playful, just being together and being too playful. That was just like, it was just being too playful. And Aaliyah was young and I didn't want people to have the wrong vision of things. Did you raise concerns with the defendant more than one time? A couple times, maybe. I just don't remember all the times. I just don't remember all of that, but maybe. Now, I remember that one time, and I remember a time I only remember the one time actually right now. You had used the phrase, you asked the defendant whether or not he was messing with Aaliyah. What did you mean by messing with Aaliyah? Yes, I did ask him that before. I did ask him that. Okay, can you explain to the jury? This was a few years after. Well, what I meant by that was, I just thought they were too playful. I thought that I didn't assume anything, and I don't want to assume anything now. I'm just asking you to assume. I'm not asking you to assume anything, sir. I'm asking you. What I meant by that, Mr. Cannon, Your Honor, can he be allowed to answer? The judge. Well, I think she needs to put the question. So let her finish the question and you let him finish the answer and just listen to the question and answer it. Go ahead. I'm asking you, sir, what did you mean by the phrase messing with Aaliyah when you spoke to the defendant about his behavior with Aaliyah? Again, I thought they were kind of too friendly. And by being so friendly, I just wanted to make sure that Robert wasn't messing with Aaliyah. Messing with Aaliyah means flirting, being flirtatious, seducing her, Aaliyah. At some point, did you in fact learn that Aaliyah and the defendant were more than friends? Mr. Cannon, objection. The court overruled. Ask that again. Did you learn that Aaliyah and the defendant were more than friends? They were more than friends from the very beginning. Ooh. Aaliyah was a happy spirit, and at the time, Robert seemed to be on the same page with Aaliyah in respect to their communication. They just had And wait, ask again. I'll rephrase my question, sir. Was there a time when you learned that Aaliyah's and the defendant's relationship was more than professional or more platonic? Well, yes. That was when boy. We were on tour and Robert mentioned to me that Aaliyah was in trouble. And he didn't explain anything until we got into the airport and got us home. And that was the only time. Okay, so I want to back you up for a moment. You mentioned that you were on tour. Uh-huh. Were you outside of Chicago? Yes. Do you recall sitting here today what city you were in when you and the defendant were on tour? Okay, I got 2 more pages after this, you guys. I think we were in Orlando, I think. Is it fair to say you're not sure? Yes. And as part of this tour, did the defendant have a performance schedule? Yes. And what, if anything, did the defendant say to you prior to his going on stage? Aaliyah's in trouble, man. We need to get home. And did he tell you what he meant by Aaliyah was in trouble? No, not at the time. No. What, if anything, did you say in response to the defendant telling you that Aaliyah was in trouble? I wanted to call Barry Hankerson. I wanted to call her uncle and figure out what was going on. And what did the defendant say when he said, don't call Barry? He said, it's deeper than you think. So I'll tell you about it. And I made the arrangements. And after the show, we boarded a plane to Chicago. Okay. And I just want to make sure that things are clear for the defendant. Clear for the jury. What was the defendant's demeanor when he said that Aaliyah was in trouble? His demeanor? Yes. He was about to go on stage. But when he told you that Aaliyah was in trouble, what was he like? What was his demeanor? He was concerned. And I think you testified that you had suggested calling Barry Hankerson. Uh-huh. Can you just remind the jurors who Barry Hankerson was with respect to the defendant? Barry Hankerson was Robert Kelly's manager and Aaliyah's uncle. So you testified that at some point you made the arrangements. I believe that's what you said? Yes. What arrangements did you make? I called our travel agent and she got us some flights to Chicago. Why did you call the travel agent? Because that's who arranged our flights. But who asked you to call the travel agent or to arrange flights? Robert said we need to get home. So I called my travel agent. Last page. I'm going to go ahead and put this out here. This is the last page. Unless, per my husband, can I read more, baby? If it's okay. Papa. Can I read more? Is acceptable? Okay, so if you're listening, brother, do I have your permission to proceed and read more pages? And then y'all in the chat, is it okay? Would you guys like me to read a few more pages? Or I can stop. Just let me know, brother. We have a lot more pages. So we have 293 pages. I'm barely at 227. So, brother, you will have more pages to resume. I can stop here if you guys are getting bored, or I can continue. If you guys can put that in the chat, my husband gave me the okay that I can continue, but I want to hear what you guys got to say. If you guys can put a thumbs up, or if you guys can say yes. My husband said I'm good to go. Admins, if you can send me a text, or if you're in the chat and can hear me by the sound of my voice, let me know if that's okay. I do not want to step on anybody's toes. Here for more. You guys are here for more. All right. Okay. Y'all let me know. Sorry, you guys. I had a cash app come in by June Gary. Thank you. Thank you so very much. And you guys, my cash app is strolling down at the bottom. If you guys are liking what you hear, go ahead and please send me a cash app. If you guys like to donate to getting the rest of the transcripts, keep going, sis. Okay, thank you, big bro. Okay, I will continue to read. If you guys, we are gonna get all the transcripts. So if you guys would like to donate, please make sure when you send in your donations to my cash app, you indicate that. Otherwise, I will take it as if it's just a love offering to me, okay? Oh, thank you. My brother said I can read until I'm tired. Okay. Well, I'm going to read until my husband say, okay, it's time to get off, baby. Okay? All right, you guys. I'm going to continue. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. All right. I see you, sis. I see you in the chat. Thank you, sis. All right. While you guys taking the time, make sure you guys are liking and sharing this video. Share it. Take out the time to share it on Facebook, okay? This is talking about Aaliyah, you guys. So let's go ahead and get into it. I told you guys she was, Azriel is not the only person involved in this case. Okay, and did the defendant say when he wanted to leave to go back to Chicago? We had to leave after the show. And so what arrangements did you make? I called my travel agent. Do you remember the travel agent's name at the time? I actually don't. So what kind of tickets did you arrange? Were they one-way round trip? I don't remember. So is there something that would refresh your recollection? Sure. May I approach, Your Honor? Yes. Pause. Does that refresh your recollection? Yeah, they were round trip. What kind of tickets? Yeah, it was round trip tickets. I'm sorry, I just want to ask the question. What kind of tickets did you arrange? Round trip tickets. And you said you contacted the travel agent. How did you contact the travel agent? Wrote a letter. The judge, come on. I used the telephone. And who paid for the tickets? Who paid for the tickets? Yes. The company we were under, Black Ground Records. And when you say the company in Black Ground Records, Jive Records, whoever paid for his transit, I will submit the bill. They paid it. Who paid it directly? You didn't pay specifically for the tickets, though. Not out of my pocket. No. Travel agent had hooked up with Jive Records or Black Round Records. Where was the defendant while you were making the travel arrangements, performing? Now, you had testified earlier that the defendant was on tour at the time, and you also testified that he went on stage. With respect to this tour, was this day the last day of the tour? I wouldn't think so, no, because they got round trip tickets. So were there other performances scheduled after that day as part of the tour? Yes. Were you surprised by the defendant's request to leave the location of the show to go to Chicago? Yes, Mr. Koenig. Objection. The judge, overruled. Can I see the parties at the side, please? Sidebar: conference held on the record in the presence of the court and counsel out of the hearing of the jury. The judge: you've got to move this along. Just cut to the chase with him. You're not going to get every single detail out of him. And I would love to finish him today. But I suspect you can't, Mr. Kennedy. I have some cross. The judge: a fair amount of cross with him. But the longer spent with him, the more difficult it is to get information out of him. Ms. Melinda: I do understand, Your Honor. I think he is testifying with respect to Racketeering Act 1. The judge: I know, I get it, but some of it is, let's go. I mean, I'm kind of telling you how to do your direct, but I'm not, I'm kind of telling you how to do your direct, but I would like to move it along a little bit, but I recognize he's a difficult guy. But if we can just move the ball a little bit forward to see how much as we can get done, he'll be back on you Monday. Mr. Kennedy: that's what I was going to tell you. The judge: but still, just try. I'm not going to yell and scream, but Mr. Kennedy, also know my objection. I don't know if it was. I think it was not intended, but there were questions being asked where the question presupposed an answer. And there was no connectivity. It's the kind of a situation where the witness had already gave that testimony. I think the question was just asked ahead of the foundational question to get that answer. The judge: I don't remember what it was, Mr. Kennedy. I don't remember now. The judge: it seemed like whatever it was, I remember the context, seemed like it wasn't an earth-shattering performance. Mr. Kennedy: right, it wasn't earth-shattering. The judge: we have to move it along, Mr. Melendez. To your point, Your Honor, if I'm going to move things along, I anticipate that there would not need to be some leeway with respect to the judge. I don't suppose you're going to object to leading through sort of obvious things, Mr. Kennedy. There are certain things. Oh, got a cash app. Thank you from Shandell Smith. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. I don't want the judge. I don't want the court reporters to quit because he's freestyling a lot. He's hard to hear, and he likes to add his own. Some leading, I think, is fine on this to direct him to an answer. I've been looking at this 3,500 material, so I know we can get there. All right, Miss Kennedy, there's a hurricane coming. I'm told about that. I want to get out of here. Sidebar: discussion concludes. Continue on the next page. Wow, you guys, y'all heard that he's talking about, I'm guessing, the hurricane in which what you guys have heard about. Okay. Oh, and I gotta pause. We just got a new member. Shouts out to Tarsha. Welcome to Whitney D TV. Woo, 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 woo. Welcome. And you get your wrench right now. Let's welcome Tarsha to the channel. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to Whitney D TV. Let's continue, you guys. I'm gonna keep Tarsha up there till I can't no more. All right. Hey, Demi. All right. In open court, the judge: Mr. Smith. He answers, yes, ma'am. She says, I want you to listen to the question and answer the question that you are being asked as best as you can. Try not to add color to the answer. All right. Just listen to Miss Cruz's question and answer that question. Deal? Yes, Judge? Yes, Judge. The judge: thank you so much. Go ahead. Your Honor, I believe my last question was, were you surprised by the defendant's request to leave the location of the show to go to Chicago? Yes. And why were you surprised? It wasn't in the schedule. Now, you had mentioned that you had made travel arrangements. Who did you make travel arrangements for? Me, Robert, and Tyree Jameson and went with us. Do you recall approximately what time the defendant's performance had started? Normally they start about 7:30, 8 o'clock. How long was the show, if you recall? So about 10:30, 11 o'clock. And after the show, you had mentioned you made travel arrangements. Did you head to the airport? Yes. And how long after the show did you head to the airport? As soon as the show was over. We get in the car, we go to the airport. And you had mentioned being in the car. Who was in the car? The limo's driver, me, Robert, and Tyree. And what was the defendant's demeanor during the car ride in the airport? Quiet. What, if any, conversations did you have with the defendant while on the drive? We didn't talk. He was quiet. And you arrived to the airport and got on the plane. Is that fair to say? Yes. Now, what, if anything, did the defendant say to you once you were on the plane about Aaliyah? He asked me, well, I asked him what was going on. And what did the defendant say? Give me a minute. Give me a moment. Just a moment. I'm just trying to think. I want to say it right. We got on the plane and in the microphone. We got on the plane. Robert, again, quiet all the way to the airport until we got on the plane. I said, what's going on? He said, Aaliyah, man, she thinks she's pregnant. And that was a shock. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. Now, how would she be pregnant or assume or to think she's pregnant if she's not having sex? And furthermore, if she's pregnant, who cares, right? If you're not sexually active with her, she could be pregnant by any Tom, Dick, or Harry, right? Why are you concerned? Interesting. Run that back. Oh, thank you, brother. Oh, thank you so much. My brother Atmos sends me $4.99, says, great job, Whitney. Thanks so much. Thank you guys for these love offerings. Thank you, brother. And know that, whenever I wrap this up, please head on over to Atmos Love Zone Live. He will continue from there. Wherever I decide to leave off, he will continue. So please take out the time in between the readings and head on over to his channel. That is where we will conclude, okay? All right, let me continue. Let me run that back for those in the back. We got on the plane, Robert again quiet, all the way to the airport until we got on the plane. I said, what's going on? He said, Aaliyah, man, she thinks she's pregnant. And that was a shock. I'm gonna run that back. Okay, hold on. I'm reading to see what my brother said. So, Atmos, are you not going on to? You're not going to bounce? Let me know. Oh, we got to rewind. We need to rewind. Rewind. We got on a plane. Robert again quiet all the way to the airport until we got on the plane. I said, what's going on? He said, Aaliyah, man, she thinks she's pregnant. And that was a shock. Rewind. I said, what's going on? He said, Aaliyah, man, she thinks she's pregnant. And that was a shock. And what was the defendant's demeanor when he was telling you that Aaliyah thought she was pregnant? Well, his demeanor was he was concerned about her. He was concerned, and I didn't know what was going on, or they were like, talking all the time. So I didn't know what was really going on. His demeanor, he was worried about it. How did he appear? How did he appear to her during that plane ride? Worried about her. He spoke to his sister about it. She told him, and I told him, what you can say it was him, but and that's where we left it. We didn't really talk about anything else about that until we got to Chicago, and I saw Darrell, and it was crazy. Mr. Smith? Yes. Is it your testimony that you didn't have any other conversations with the defendant on the plane? Well, while on the plane, I think I told him, like I said, she thinks she's pregnant. I said, Robert, I don't remember that. Let me see what I said. The judge. You need your recollection refreshed? The witness. Yes. Can I refresh it? I don't want to say yes to anything. I'm on medications. What the hell? Like I said, he told me that Darrell knew he was making arrangements for him to marry Aaliyah. Whoa. Wait a minute. Rewind. Like I said, he told me that Darrell knew he was making arrangements for him to marry Aaliyah. Whoa. Wow. Let's run that back. Let me run that back real quick. Like I said, he told me that Darrell knew he was making arrangements for him to marry Aaliyah. And did the defendant say why he had to marry Aaliyah? Well, they told him that's what he told me, that they told him, Darrell and him, to protect himself. To protect himself from what? To protect Aaliyah. That was, Mr. Kenneth, Your Honor, I'm going to object. You are asking me something. The judge, first of all, the objection is overruled. Don't have an argument with the assistant United States attorney. She's asking you a question. The witness, I have to use the bathroom. The judge, you need a break? Yes, ma'am. The judge, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a 5-minute break. And can you escort the witness out, please? Oh man, this is getting juicy. Oh my God. Courtroom deputy. All rise. Jury exits courtroom at 4:48 p.m. Witness leaves the witness stand, the court, or the judge. Hold on. Got us a super chat. Larry's Minion, thank you so very much for your $5 donation. Thank you, sis. You're so welcome, you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. If you are enjoying the show, put, let's see, what can we use? Let's see, what emojis can we use? I want y'all to spam my chat. Hey, sis, I'll go live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Then Miss Angie coming on. Okay, so you guys, here's the breakdown of the timing of everything. Hey, thank you, Nene, for your donation. She sent the $1.99 donation. Thank you so much. Okay, yeah. Y'all put y'all bombs in the chat. Okay, and you guys look at the screen. This is going to be the lineup in regards to the reading of the transcripts. Okay, I'm gonna read a few more and then I'm gonna wrap it so you guys have enough time to get yourselves together and get prepared for the rest of the readings of the transcripts by way of Atmos Love Zone. And then Miss Angie, if you can please put in your link to your channel, and I need my mods, if y'all can please. Yeah, I got it, brother. Thank you for the text. If my moms can please grab it, and then I'll post it. Okay. So if you guys would like to become a member, it is it's pinned up above the chat. You see it up top. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Black Girl Beauty. Thank you for the $5. She says you're killing it. Deep town, sis. Thank you guys so much. I'm telling y'all, like, I'm trying to bring life to it because this can be very mundane. So thank y'all for your love offerings. I guarantee you I'm getting it and I am putting it back into my channel. Okay. But y'all, this is going to be how it is for the next few months because we're going to try our best to get all the transcripts. Yeah. I'm seeing all those bombs. Let's go. Yeah. Okay. All right. I, as well as Admins and a few others, are collecting donations for the transcripts. Okay. These things are not cheap. Okay. And if you guys want us to continue to bring you guys the facts, maybe not the truth, but the facts. This is what's on black and white. Okay. We ain't doing no in between. Okay. And for those of the people, like I said, I'm very biased to the victims. However, I'm fair. I'm reading what is being said. I haven't skipped anything. I ain't left out anything, and I'm keeping it on the screen so you guys can see. Okay. I'm bumbling over some words because it's just my articulation, but not for nothing. What you see is what you see. All right, you guys. Hope you guys got your drinks. Let's continue. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for your love and your support. All right. The court or the judge. And when I say the judge is the court, okay? She's representing for the court. Okay. All right. My husband dipped out on me. All right. We can take Mr. Kelly in the back, but I'm staying here. So don't anybody go too far. As soon as he comes back, we'll continue. Oh, that nigga had to go to the restroom after revealing that information. Huh? And once you become a member, you guys have some cool little emojis that you can play around with. Those that are members, go ahead and show off. Go on and show off. Pop your ish. Pop your ish. Show them the little icons that you guys got. All right, I'm gonna continue. And brother, what is your time? Because I'm in Texas. It's 4:34 here. I know you said 6:30. What's the time difference, y'all? Hey, text that or put that in the chat for me so I can make sure I'm not being long-winded and keep reading. All right. Yeah, there you go. Pop your shit. Oh, pop your ish, Vera. Sorry, y'all. Pop your ish, Vera. Go ahead and put your emojis in the chat. All right. If you become a member, you have the opportunity to have your own special emojis that are only for you. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Sorry for that, you guys. All right. Defendant enters the courtroom at 4:49 p.m. A recess in the proceedings was taken. Witness takes the witness stand. The judge, just before the jury comes out. Mr. Smith, he answers, yes, ma'am. Okay. All right. Thank you, brother. Oh, wait. Thank you, Indigo. Okay. Thank you. The judge. This will go a lot smoother and a lot faster if you listen to the question and answer the question. I'm running a little bit out of patience here. If you can answer the question, answer the question. He says, "You running out of patience?" The judge says, "I am, and I run the show." He says, "Then we can go home then, right?" The judge, "No, you can't. You answer the questions that you are asked and cooperate with the prosecutor and answer the questions that she asks you. It's 5 to 5. It's 5 to 5 o'clock. Let's go. Let's get the jury in." A brief pause in the proceedings was held. Court deputy, all rise. Jury returns courtroom at 4:57 p.m. Courtroom deputy, you may be seated. The judge, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to continue. Go ahead, Miss Cruz Melendez. Your Honor, if I have the last question read back, sure. Courtroom deputy, the witness is reminded he is still under oath. Thank you, brother. The requested portion of the record was read back by the official court reporter, Miss Cruz Melendez. Can I have the witness remove his mask? The judge, take your mask off, Mr. Smith. She goes on to ask, Mr. Smith, when the defendant said that Darrell had said that he needed to marry Aaliyah to protect himself, protect the defendant from what? I guess jail, I guess. I'm sorry. I guess jail. Mr. Koenig, objection. If he doesn't know, the court overruled. Did the defendant say that? Objection by Mr. Koenig. Yes. The judge overruled. And you mentioned Darrell. Who was Darrell? Darrell McDavid. Who is he in relation to the defendant? He was Robert's accountant as well as Robert's acting manager. What, if anything, did the defendant say to you on the plane with respect to where Aaliyah was? With respect to where Aaliyah at the hotel? What hotel? I think it was the Sheraton in Maywood, Sheraton, or I think it was the Sheraton. In what city, though? What was that? Maywood? What state is that located in? Illinois. On that plane ride, who, if anyone else, did the defendant tell you he had spoken to about Aaliyah possibly being pregnant? He spoke to his sister. He told me that. And what did he say about that? He spoke to his sister. He spoke to his sister. And what did he tell you that he told his sister? His sister said that, well, Aaliyah said she's pregnant. Doesn't mean she's pregnant, you know. And when the defendant was telling you these things, what was his demeanor? Concern. Pause. Shouts out to Cece Orleans. She's a new member. Welcome. Welcome, girl. You may now get you a ranch. Welcome to the channel. That automatically gets you a mod position. Welcome to the Mods Club. All right. CC made it official, girl. You love me, girl. You know you love me, girl. Welcome to the channel. Is it your testimony here today that his demeanor was just concerned? Mr. Koenig, objection. The judge, overruled. Was it anything else besides concern? I mean, what did I say before? The judge, you need to have your recollection refreshed. The witness, yes. Miss Melendez, may I approach, Your Honor? The judge. Yes. Approaching the witness. Showing to the witness. The witness or Mr. Demetrius. Yeah. He was crying a lot. Yeah, he was crying. So did you and the defendant and Tyree ultimately land in Chicago? Yes. And what time did the plane land in Chicago? Approximately. I don't recall. Was it in the morning time? I mean, in the morning, evening, early morning, probably. Yeah, early morning. And once you landed, what happened? Where did you go after you landed? Can you ask that again? Where did you go after you landed? You, the defendant, and Tyree, where did you go? I remember correctly, we went to the hotel, to the Sheraton Hotel. I remember correctly. Okay. Mr. Smith, do you recall giving grand jury? Can I just read that so we don't have to keep on going through this here? The judge. Does it refresh your recollection? Yes, it does. The judge. Why don't you show him? Direct him to the page. I feel like I'm on trial for Aaliyah. Shit. Aaliyah not even here to say where you go after that. We went home to his house. When you say home to his house, what do you mean? Dang. He popping off, ain't he? Woo, somebody getting hostile. Somebody's a little heated. Why are you so upset? Why are you pressed? He said, "Don't be telling me I don't want to snitch on him." Is this getting good, you guys? Do I need to run that back, y'all? Do I need to run that back? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let me run that back. Rewind. Say it with me. I feel like I'm on trial for Aaliyah shit. Aaliyah not even here to say where you go after that. We went home to his house. When you say home to his house, what do you mean? Rewind. I feel like I'm on trial for Aaliyah shit. Aaliyah not even here to say where you go after that. We went home to his house. When you say home to his house, what do you mean? Don't read it. Lake Point Towers. Don't read it. I'm sorry, Judge. That's all right. Just answer the question. And when you say his house, whose house did you go to? Lake Point Towers, Robert's house. And when you were at the defendant's house, what, if any, conversations did you have with the defendant there about the situation with Aaliyah? I remember that, and I told Robert that this is something that just couldn't happen, that he shouldn't listen to Darrell. I told him that he couldn't marry Aaliyah, that she was too young, and you know that she couldn't go to school without a truant officer coming after her. So that's something you shouldn't do. That's what I told. That's what I do remember about that. And what did the defendant say to you? He was confused. He was confused, and he just asked me whose side I was on. And you said he asked which side were you? Who you with? Me or them? That's, you know. And at some point, did you leave the defendant's apartment? Yes. After leaving the defendant's apartment, where did you go? All right, you guys, it's gonna be the last page. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to read too much into it and not leave the other readers anything to read. Okay. All right. I think to the hotel. And who went with you to the hotel? Me and Robert. I think me and Robert were together. I think. And you testified earlier that you thought it was a Sheraton. Yes. And why did you go to that Sheraton? To meet with Darrell. And was anyone else at the Sheraton? I don't remember, the judge. Do you need to have your recollection refreshed? He says, yes, please. The judge, all right. You just need to ask. Yes. The judge, go ahead. Ms. Melendez. I think I can ask a question that might assist. The judge, whatever will be best. Was Aaliyah there at the hotel? Yes. And when you say you went to the hotel, where in the hotel did you go? To the room. All right, you guys. I think I'm gonna stop there. Okay. I think I'm gonna stop there. I think I'm gonna stop there, you guys. There's a lot more pages to be read, and I don't want to overstep when it comes to the other readers. I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to get into the chat with you guys. All right, we're going to stop right there, you guys. And I want you guys to head on over to Admin's Love Zone at 6:30 Eastern time. Let me take this off the screen. I'm getting a chat, you guys. Thank y'all so much. I will turn my camera on. You know what? I am. Let me get my. I'm gonna turn my camera on so y'all can see me. It's just. All right. Somebody take note to where I left off at. I left off on page 712. Well, I left off on 711. However, admins will start on 712 unless he goes back a page to let you guys know where we left off at. But he will continue on page 712. Okay, so somebody please. I started at 650 and I went to 650 to 658. I bounced from 658 to 661, where I continued until 711. Okay. All right. Okay, let me all right, I'm gonna try to come on. Let me come on the screen. I'm gonna talk to y'all for a little bit. I'm gonna talk to y'all for just a little bit, and then I'm gonna go in here and finish enjoying my Sunday. How y'all doing? Thank y'all so much. I see y'all beautiful comments. Thank y'all. Hold on. You know what? Let me move this speaker. me? I'm just talking. Can y'all hear me now? Can you hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me now. Can y'all hear me now? Let me see if y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me now? Okay, there we go. I can hear you. Y'all can hear me. All right. Y'all, that was hilarious. Hey, everybody. Long time. Let me put something up, baby. I look a hot mess. I'm sorry, y'all. I was not intending on going on, but I'm here. Hey, you guys. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Put something on my memory. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? All right. Let's talk. Y'all, that was interesting. Did y'all find out any information that you weren't aware of? And then the thing is, what's so dope about his testimony, out that he was a butthole, you could tell he was not wanting to be there. So I will take his story to be credible. I'm just saying. Oh, I love you guys so much. Seriously, like genuinely love y'all so much. But I'm just like, y'all, it was spicy in that courtroom. Yes. Yes. Whew. Thank you. This is a half wig, y'all. This ain't my natural, but hey, y'all. Okay, let's get the questions. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're here for. We're gonna stall while my brother Admis is getting prepared. Okay. Vera said, why Demetrius acting like he didn't reveal all this in his book? Girl, I guess it's different writing the book versus being in court. And you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I guess it's different between making a profit off of something versus something else. But baby, this was spicy. Hold on, y'all. I gotta put some ice in my cup. Put y'all your questions, just concerns, and comments in the chat. I'm gonna come back. All right, let's talk about it. CC Arlene says, we all read it. And he even interviewed about it with at least one YouTuber. I seen it. Child. It's a difference when your butt can be locked up behind what you say. That's why I be telling people. Everybody is talking about, oh, that's real. Oh, what's that? And I'm just like, look, okay, y'all. I'm not even gonna get in the likes of That's Real because I could talk all day. I'm in the process of already reaching out to Angelo to get confirmation about stuff because until I see anything, that's hearsay, and that's hearsay. I ain't got time to be playing with that. But not for nothing. Dang, y'all. Basically, what I'm getting an understanding of is that he basically married her to cover his behind. And he had a whole team. Enterprise. One word. Enterprise. Because that's why she's asking, like, okay, who told you to do this? You know what I'm saying? Did you just say, oh, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know a pedo when you see one, when you're around one. Yeah, he just being playful. He just being playful. What grown 20-something? Mind you, she was, what, 15, 13, 14, or whatever, however she was. And they're being playful? What grown? I just don't know. I just don't know. My husband barely play with our kids, let alone What y'all talking about in this chat? Demetrius is balancing not wanting to catch a case and not wanting to be labeled a whole snitch too late. Bing, 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 bing. That's what he's battling, y'all. Too late. Too late. Whitney, the Chandel Smith person that sent you money on the Cash App is me too. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry. I have not been looking at my Cash App. If y'all were sending Cash Apps, thank y'all so much. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Nene. I got it. Y'all are such a blessing because videos like this don't get monetized. I mean, they just don't. So I really appreciate you guys taking out the time out your coins, out y'all budgets, and blessing me because that's exactly what it is, y'all. So thank y'all so much. Let me see what y'all saying. That's why he's charged for racketeering. Yeah, YouTube don't play with us. So y'all monies that y'all sent in, it's amazing. Like, because I'm not getting paid for this. Literally not getting paid for this. Me talking and being theatrical voiceovers, it's just me being who I am because I don't do this for the money. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. The Plug, Power and Purpose. And if you guys aren't familiar with this channel, this is my girl Rutanya Sellers, the prophetess Rutanya Sellers, and she has a YouTube channel that is stinking dope. You guys may have seen the video that I play on my commercials. So you guys, please take out the time to head on over to our channel and get an awesome, authentic word of God. Oh, now. All right. And it's called The Plug, Power and Purpose. Okay. But she says Robert had a whole team helping him become the monster he is today. Yeah, I do agree. But I want to say this. He had already been the monster. Can we talk about it? Okay. When he was exposed to that sexual traumatic experience, that's when the monster, that seed was planted and that monster started developing. You know what I'm saying? And so they just fed the monster. They helped to feed the monster, if anything. You know what I'm saying? They helped to feed it. You got to feed that monster, and they helped to feed it because you had another dude stating that, if I'm not mistaken, he took witness to the guys basically scouting the girls. And then I think at one point you heard from somebody saying he was the one that, assist. Yeah. I see CC. I'm going backwards, but I'm reading on my phone as to come in. They just enabled the monster. Yeah. I really believe at some points it's not even enabling. It's at some points that you just like the stuff yourself. You a pedo yourself. You gotta be. That stuff is nasty. I don't have no excuses for it. I don't care about being biased. That's disgusting. Let it be my daddy. You nasty. My sister, my mom, all y'all can get it. I don't like pedophilia. I got children. I'm moving backwards in the comments because I know you guys are posting, but I'm seeing them as they come in on my phone. That's what you call a loving marriage. First time on this channel, on this live. Thank you. Thank you. It ain't perfect, but it is loving. We do love each other. Juanita, what you say, girl? Let me scroll. Yeah, complacent to say the least, rocking with the truth. Juanita says, I want people to understand that any artist is not an idol. And at the end of the day, they will not have everybody's back at all. At all. At all. And what y'all gotta understand, like, as demonic, evil, disgusting, ridiculous as this may be, it's very prevalent in the industry, to say the least. This is the way of life in the industry. So, oh, sorry, y'all. All right, sorry, y'all. Yeah, this is something that happens quite often. Unfortunately, he is the only one that's getting his due. But I will say this: do your research. Britney Spears, look at what's going on with her now. Justin Bieber, okay, and if you guys remember, he spoke out about it. That's why he didn't want to stay in the industry anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's why he did find Christ, you know. So y'all gotta understand. And it was stories out there. I mean, think about Usher. And if you think I'm lying, do your research. Usher, same difference. Same difference. Why you think at 14, 15, he was singing so grown and she likes it my way? Like how? How, Sway? How she like it? How you know? You know, and just all other kind of songs and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, he would sing by way of experience because they sent him off to send him off. Okay. And then the likes of Bow Wow, you know what I'm saying? And my boy Storm Monroe was talking about this, and it's all alleged. I wasn't there, but was saying how something happened in a limo with Bow Wow. You know what I'm saying? He done experienced some things in the industry, being so young and being around people that really didn't give two craps about him. This is what they do in the industry. That's why when y'all are just like, oh, the parents, oh, this is R. Kelly. And also, I read, if I'm not mistaken, y'all can tell me. They were asking him, I don't know if it was transcripts from yesterday or earlier today of me reading, will he work with other artists? You know what I'm saying? With other art, he mentored and helped other people. He didn't smash them. And we're not dealing with the people he didn't affect. We're dealing with the people that he did. And everybody want to holler out and yell out parents. But like I told y'all, you sound real dumb talking about it was a setup. The parents knew what was going on. So if the parents sold their children, they knew what was going on. What part did R. Kelly play? If they sold their children, he bought them. And even furthermore, if he bought them, when you buy your animals and your pets and your dogs, you own them, right? But if you take them home and you begin to beat them, abuse them, that's not the FDC or FAC or whatever, SPAC, whatever, come after your ass. Yes, he has consequences to the choices that you make. So if the parents sold their children, it's illegal to buy a human. Period. So either way around this, y'all sound acidine. You sound like complete fools. So basically, you're saying that this man not only abused these women, he bought live humans. Unless I can recollect, you can't do that. So what are we going to say now? If it was a setup, gotcha, bitch. They caught him. I mean, my thing, what I always say is, it reminds me and that's why I try not to go back and forth in the comments because they're idiots. It reminds me of when people be getting upset and they be like, man, say, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going on a reality show. When I went on there, man, they had me looking all kind of crazy. Well, nigga, if you weren't acting crazy, they wouldn't have nothing to chop up and edit. See, when I do my content and then I post it, it's what I recorded on this camera. I can't get mad at anybody, my husband, you know, I can't, because I'm putting out there what I need you to receive. And so if he was set up and he was doing nothing, wouldn't be nothing to catch. I don't know. I just really think that a lot of you guys that support him are jealous that he's not pissing and making you eat crap. I just can't. I just can't. The nitpicky gall, the audacity of the ignorance. It's the ignorance for me. It's just, oh, well, did you hear about Azriel's mom? Put her on the stage and had a pussy popping on her handstand and saying, hey, R.KELLY. No, I didn't, but I did hear the transcript, and she was at her friend's house when she went to the hotel to see him, be it the arrangements that herself and him made. Oh, and yes, in regards to the conversation that the mom was having with him. Yeah. Let me give you further context in regards to that. This girl was 17. Her career has started way before the likes of R.KELLY. Her parents were the one that was in control of any kind of shows that she was doing. And it's a thing called PR. See, what your public relation manager does is they get on your IG, your Facebook, your Twitter. And when you make an ass out of yourself, oh, can I use the example? The baby. When he said those acidine comments, y'all remember that post in black that came on his IG and his Twitter apologizing to the world? That wasn't him. So again, miss me when y'all sit up here and say that, oh, her mama was acting like her and was sexing R.KELLY, and it was, no, her mom said exactly what Azriel said in the course document. Hi, my name is Azriel. I'm a musician. Here are some links to my YouTube channels. Never in there did you hear, here's a picture of my food nanny. I want you to, no, you didn't hear none of that. You didn't hear none of that. So y'all need to stop with these lies, okay? If you read the transcript like we've been doing, you heard exactly what it was. So was she lying when she was saying all the lies on Gayle King and all this stuff that she was saying? Well, we come to find out she was. However, you guys believed it. Oh, but now that she's singing a different tune, it's, oh, you can't believe her testimony. You can't believe Azriel. But we could believe her when she was eating the crap, literally, and talking lies out her mouth. Okay. It's the dumbness for me. It's just the ignorance for me. I just believe, I think I'm too real for some people, because it's just like, then I get stuff in my comments. You know what? I would really let me read some comments to you guys that I get from time to time. The ignorance for me. Let me just read one. I'm gonna call their names out because this is all public. You guys can actually go to these videos and see. We have Sarah here. Hi, Sarah. Remember 5 hours ago you posted this? Robert finished with ass when he heard that she was fraternizing with the enemy after he told her he wasn't going to get rid of Joy to marry her. Now she's getting her revenge big time, but she has so much holes to her story that she is being impeached. It's the ignorance for me. It's the ignorance for me. It's just the blatant ignorance for me. Can anybody please point me out to the impeachment trial of R.KELLY? Last time I made mention of her, she's done. She's on trial. She's at home. Yeah. Didn't hear too much about impeachment. And last I heard, he didn't want Joy. Yeah. Seems like in her testimony, a lot of cases, when she would name where everybody slept and where everybody was, it seemed like Azriel always was with the defendant. And everybody else had their rooms. He didn't want her though. And, he wasn't trying to marry her before he went off to jail here recently either. Those are all lies. Whitney, you're so ignorant. I remember one person said, "Oh, you are so delusional. Whitney delusional." I said, okay. So it's just weird. Okay. All right. Let me go back into these comments. Just want to let you guys know what I'll be dealing with. We're about to wrap here soon, y'all. 5 more minutes, okay? I want this to be too long. We're about to go on 3 hours here. I'm going to have to cut this down. Ty says, hey, Ty says, and they act like kids don't lie about their age. No, that's what kids do, dumbass. Yes, I did. Did y'all not hear the story from my last? I was 16, and I told my mom I was going to sleep over at a friend's house. I slept over, all right. A month later, I found out I was pregnant. 16 and pregnant. I lied. Lied to my mother. Yeah, sure did. Okay. Lies happen. That's what kids do. And that's the reason why there was no objection from the defense with that, with any of them. And you also understand the holes are going to exist because of time. Did you not hear that with Demetrius' testimony? I'm just itching and anxious to hear the defense. I am. 5 minutes, you guys. We're going to wrap it up. Please put your comments, your questions in the chat. I'm 45. I remember when it happened with Aaliyah, and everybody brushed it under the rug. They did. Because social media wasn't popping then. Oh no, social media wasn't popping, and word only traveled by word. I remember that was passed around the daggone VHS, and people was dubbing and stuff like that. Like, times have changed. You know what I'm saying? So, but you're absolutely right. I remember that. So amazing. It's coming out now. I always say what you doing that's in the dark comes to the light. Absolutely. And that's why I just said, if you're not doing nothing, you have nothing to be exposed. Y'all can expose me all y'all want, baby. It's not nothing I probably have not told y'all already. Very transparent. Not for this, because I'm scared. I don't give a damn. Okay, anything I've done in my past, my future, my present, I can own up to. Called self-accountability. I'm a grown-ass person. They said it's all about his catalog. But the man trying to sell it, not buy it. Yes, he's trying to sell his catalog because he has no money. And I could have sworn that was the reason why Azriel left. Can y'all answer me this? Does anybody pay bills off of love? Can you pay your bills with love making? Anybody? No, I didn't think so, because I would be gone too. No, I'm going too. Y'all making it. Oh, she left when it got hard. So okay. Then come to find out he didn't even have no daggone money. I don't know sometimes. I just do not know. Anyways, yeah, I got another comment. I'm just reading. I'm just like, these people are just weird. I don't even want to answer them. It's just like, this thing really happens. That's my point. That's what I'm trying to get out for everybody to understand. These things really happen. And unfortunately, it's happening to the pea pie popper. Okay. And the thing is that if this was right down the street, you wouldn't be up in arms like this, you know, and it's just unfortunate, you know what I'm saying, that y'all can't see it for what it's worth. That's the scary thing. That's the scary thing. Where you going? You leaving me? Love you. Look so handsome. I am. 1 minute. You look so handsome. You smell good too. You going to get the truck and coming back? Where? Oh, up the street. Okay, baby. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Let me see. Thank you. Hell no. Nobody's going to stay and be broke. Sorry, I'm not going to do that. No. I am too. All right, you guys. Any other questions, concerns, and comments before I wrap this up? So y'all can get ready to head on over to Miss Love's Zone channel so he can finish the readings. Sad people try to justify why he sleeps with underage girls. Yeah, and boys. And then they be like, well, that's just his thing. He likes to do. Okay, let's roll with that. Do he have to beat them too? Why do you have to beat them too? Why do you have to beat and abuse him? Why do you have to do all these sick and damaging things to these people? Fine. Still sick that you want to mess with underage individuals or kids that's younger than your children. Fine. But why do you have to be so abusive to them? And then people want to say, well, it wasn't all bad. No relationship is all bad. We're not talking about the good times. That's the good times. We're talking about the bad times and how bad it gets. You know, bad enough to where you're beating me and lashing me 15 times. The times where I'm, eating feces and smearing it on my face. Those times. The times where you're locking me in a closet and stuff like that, allegedly. Not the times where you're gifting me and getting me boob jobs and body enhancements and allowances. That's all great. It doesn't take away from the abuse. So fine, okay, you kinky. threesomes. Oh, all right. But you're abusing me. Also, you're having me engage in sexual activities that I wouldn't do if I was with the likes of you. Also, yeah. You recorded me without my consent. And then I'm engaging in a sexual act. I'm underage. It's child sexual pornography. And as I leave you guys, don't think that these things are not in evidence. Yeah. It ain't no fun when the rabbit has the gun. See, you only get by. You're not getting away. Okay? Yeah, sex with others as punishment. Can't do that. I may give consent to have sex with you, but I don't give consent to have sex with Bubba, Rico, Felicia, Felipe. And if you're pressuring me to do it, it's not consent. If I don't have a history of doing acts like this, it's not my consent. Thank you, Whitney, for saying that out. Glory to God. I'm speaking for those that don't have the courage to or that can't. I don't give a damn. Okay? You run up, say it with me now. Yeah, you get done up. I'm not afraid of none of y'all Twitter finger thugs. You that big and bold, find me and run up. See how cross-eyed, how funny looking, how skinny I am. Anyways, all right, you guys. I am headed out. Love you guys so very much. At the bottom, you guys can see what we read. I'm going to put the page numbers in now, since we wrapped up accordingly, as well as you can see my cash out. Please donate to the channel. I promise you, it goes back into the channel. I guarantee you it does. Okay. Not for nothing, you guys. Thank you all for keeping it cute. I'm not sure we had to boot anybody. I wasn't in there, but thank you guys so very much. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're already a subscriber, thank you and welcome to the channel. If you are not, it's not too late. Go on and click that exit out of that chat and hit that subscribe button, okay? And while you're there, if you'd like to join the channel, please do so. You can find the join button somewhere below here, all right? And click that join button. That's an automatic opportunity to get a mod position, okay, here on the channel, okay? And again, if you like to donate to the channel, my cash app is Whitney D 2014. Okay, make sure you remember that that money sign, okay, cash sign, okay. And let me know, it's your turn. Let me know what you think down in the comments below in regards to the transcript, in regards to what you heard about Aaliyah, okay, and finding out she was pregnant and about to get married to R.KELLY crying and boo-hooing and stuff like that. And then if you want to talk to me directly, have something special to share with me, a conspiracy theory, you need some advice, hit me on reviews, whitneyD@gmail.com, and I will respond back to you. Okay, that is my email. I will respond directly back to you. Okay, I promise. Even if you want to say, hey, Whitney, good job, I read those as well. Okay, send it to reviews with whitneyD@gmail.com. Now, are you embarking on your YouTube journey and you need some help? Maybe it's rebranding, revamping. You need a new banner for your YouTube channel. You need new logos, intro, outro. I'm your girl. Head on over to whitneydavisplanning@gmail.com. Send me an email, okay? And I will get back to you, okay? Now, not for nothing, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm appreciative, to say the least, okay? Not for nothing, you guys. Thank you so very much. Enjoy your Sunday. I'm Whitney D, and I'm signing off. Deuces.